The Bat family of the future lies in shambles, but if anyone is going to save the future state, it might very well be Tim Drake. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Future State Robin Eternal issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the comic, we overhear a conversation being held by Magistrate agents. It seems that the group that is currently occupying Gotham is waiting on a major shipment. One that they hope will finally give them everything they need to stomp out masked superhero resistance in Gotham City and once and for all complete their stranglehold on the entire city. Unfortunate for them, though, this conversation is actually being listened to by Tim Drake Robin, making use of his brand new cloaking technology, which I cannot be the only one that gets reminded of Batman Beyond's cloaking technology, While Robin dispatches these bad guys, he actually ends up dropping some rather interesting tidbits of information about what became of the Bat family in the future state. Some of this we already knew, like Bruce Wayne being assumed dead, but it's the other two things that are of much import. Apparently Dick Grayson had gone crazy and got himself committed to Arkham Asylum. Don't worry, he clearly got better if you read the Titans book, and Red Hood of all people seemingly sold his family out and actually joined the Magistrate. Basically, this means Robin is working without a net here and having to fight alone without his family to back him up, something that he surely wishes he had right around the time he starts getting beaten up by one of the huge cyber enforcers from the Magistrate. Luckily though, Tim is saved at the last minute by the intervention of Stephanie Brown the Spoiler. These two were pretty close once before, but apparently Steph hung it all up once the Magistrate started hunting masks. No word though on whether or not that was before or after she very clearly lost an eye. Steph cares about Tim, which is the only reason she suited up and came out tonight, and just hopes that he'll give it up too before he gets killed. It's made abundantly clear that Steph isn't gonna help Tim track down this mysterious shipment, and as such he decides to go elsewhere. He recruits the help of, and man, I was not expecting this, Darcy. Who is Darcy? Well, I wouldn't blame you for forgetting her, because apparently she's a character from We Are Robin. Remember that short-lived book? I guess Fitzmartin must have been a fan of We Are Robin, because why else would you bring in a character like this? Then again, if you told me that Darcy was actually brand new but retconned to be a member of We Are Robin, I'd believe that too. For the record, Darcy is actually a deaf woman, and the art does some cool stuff by showcasing sign language. I always appreciate that when comics go that little extra mile. Darcy works at the Gotham Custom House, and because of that, she actually has some rather interesting insight to everything the Magistrate is doing, including their latest shipment of Lazarus Resin. Yes, that's right, it seems that the Magistrate is using the small fortune that they've managed to accrue occupying Gotham City and are using it to get their hands on stuff from the Lazarus Pit. The plan is to pump the stuff into their giant, scary cyborg enforcers, making them essentially invincible, and considering that one almost killed Tim at the beginning of the book, the idea of making them more powerful scares the crap out of them. The resin, as we discover, is being brought in later that same night via a flying fortress, so Tim and his new friend Darcy decide to get up there with the help of a jetpack. Ah yes, jetpacks, they're not just for Katana anymore in this future. Both are taken aback when they realize that Spoiler is already waiting for them aboard the flying fortress, and yes, there is some awkwardness on the part of Steph, seeing that she has quite literally been replaced with a newer, younger, equally blonde model. Our trio of heroes makes their way through the fortress, knocking out Magistrate goons as they go. Eventually, though, they end up coming face to face with another one of those hulking cyber enforcers, this one outfitted with the brand new Lazarus Resin. Robin, very heroically or recklessly, depending on your definition of things, ends up rushing the giant cyborg and ends up suffering what is almost certainly a fatal blow because of it. But, much like at the beginning of the issue, Spoiler is able to blow this thing wide open, which means Lazarus Pit juice gets positively everywhere, like on Robin, where it seemingly resurrects him. Of course, the question now becomes, in the future, did the Magistrate manage to fix the whole post-Lazarus Pit mania and salt and pepper hair that was such a hallmark of the Pit back in the old days? I guess we'll have to read the next issue to find out. And so that was Future State Robin Eternal issue number 1, everybody. And while I don't think it exactly broke a lot of new ground, there is something kind of enjoyable and nice about the idea that even in this dark future, Tim Drake just kinda stays Tim Drake. He is, as the title says, eternal. Now, one of the other interesting factors of Future State that I don't hear a lot of people talking about right now is that one of the other aspects of this whole 2-month creative experiment is to try and find writers and creators from outside the world of comic books. This is actually Meghan Fitzmartin's very first comic book she's ever written. Before this, she was mostly known for working on Supernatural and the DC superhero girls TV show. And I must say, she does show a fair amount of potential. She's got some deep-cut references, some nice internal monologues going on, and it all pairs nicely with Eddy Barrows' artwork. I particularly like the design work on the big hulking cyber monsters. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10, and I'm definitely going to follow this one to its conclusion. Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.